Earlier this month, the North Western Regional Assembly released a report on the status of priority infrastructure projects. The North West Regional Assembly does amazing work in identifying and knowing the needs and gaps in provision, but also shows what possibilities could be implemented. There are a number of absolutely crucial transport infrastructure projects that have been identified for years in my area in the North West, but they're still not shovel ready. And what is missing from Sligo, Leitrim and Donegal, that we seem to have no transport projects ready to go. Our region is bursting with untapped potential in terms of our natural resources, our landscape, our extremely talented workforce. But we could compete with any region in Europe. But there's years of underinvestment in infrastructure projects that are preventing us from achieving our potential. I know we're talking here about public infrastructure, and often it comes to us, we're talking about finance, but often it's raised, where is the money going to come from? And it's a fair enough question, where are we going to raise finances? But in a country where there's so much real poverty, levels of homelessness, child poverty, food poverty, low to middle income earners are paying high levels of tax and we're not receiving the services that we should. But yet there's a whole class of people growing underneath the weight of their wealth without paying any meaningful level of taxes at all. According to Oxfam Ireland, there are now 11 Irish billionaires, and during 2024 their combined wealth increased by a staggering 35.6 million every single day. And I have to agree with the Oxfam, Jim Clerkin, that this wealth is not deserved and it's not based on merit. It is based upon greed and a desire to acquire, to possess and to hoard, and it is a level of greed that would even put the world's imperialists to shame. Billionaires worldwide use clever accounting and tax avoidance. It's not actual tax evasion to get away with not pulling their weight. And not only that, they're actually doing real harm. Every euro that they acquire is held on to tight. It's taken out of our system and squirreled away. Although billionaires have been allowed to exist and thrive under modern, unrestrained, unregulated capitalism, their behaviour is undoubtedly going to cause the end and the collapse of capitalism. Money is designed to flow around the financial system just as blood flows around the circulatory system. To have a blood clot in the circulatory system is potentially fatal and may require surgery or clot-busting medication. And blood clots are the enemies of good circulation, but billionaires are the enemies of a well-run, functioning society which requires buy-in and contributions from all its members. Like, why am I talking about it now? We know that there's massive infrastructure projects that need to happen. We know housing needs to happen. We know that there's 1 in 5 children living below the poverty line. But taxation has become a dirty word for political parties, and raising taxes for those who are already struggling cannot be an option. We should be having a progressive system like that they have introduced in Spain to protect those, and it can be implemented to protect those that are asset rich but cash poor. That we can broadening our tax base, we can, internationally a system has been proposed to the G20 that will involve the collection of a 2% wealth tax on global billionaires. We could demonstrate that it is possible to raise tax against billionaires, continue to grow our economy and deliver services, housing and infrastructure projects. Spain is doing it and we could do it too. So at the moment we're still allowing the world's billionaires to continue to acquire, to hold, to pile up wealth. Not only means this affects our public services, and there is a direct correlation between poor public services, poor infrastructure projects, and there's untapped wealth there that we are not getting into and that they shouldn't be allowed to get away with it.